Hello, and thank you for joining me today for this presentation on care coordination. We will be covering a broad overview of the position and highlight its importance on patient outcomes, the need for collaboration, identifying the effects of change management, basing care plans on ethical decision making, and identifying impacts of policy provisions. Let's begin by discussing what a care coordinator is and why their role is important. Care coordination can have many different definitions and a broad scope of roles that all fall under the title. To quote a summary from Ah et al., care coordination has been shown to be strongly associated with improved patient outcomes in integrated models, and care coordinators play a critical role in the functioning of integration efforts. Also known as health navigators or care managers, among other terms, they monitor patients' chronic health conditions, facilitate communication among providers, promote healthy behaviors and self-management skills, and help patients implement care plans and access community services. The Agency for Health Research and Quality helps in identifying the importance of their role, stating that care coordination is identified by the Institute of Medicine as a key strategy that has the potential to improve the effectiveness, safety, and efficiency of the American healthcare system. Well-designed, targeted care coordination that is delivered to the right people can improve outcomes for everyone, patients, providers, and payers. Despite the varying roles and responsibilities that the title of care coordinators carry, multiple sources confirm the importance of that role. One of the key components of a care coordinator's responsibility is the collaboration that they engage and facilitate in across all disciplines, as well as with patients and their families. To quote McInnes et al., in regards to collaboration, the World Health Organization actively promotes interdisciplinary collaboration to enhance the coordination and delivery of client-centered primary health care. Among its many advantages, collaboration has been found to improve productivity within a growing climate of financial and human constraints. Collaboration is most likely to succeed where there are effective models of communication, role clarity, and when team members share responsibilities, goals, and decision-making. Some of the examples of care coordinators collaborating, according to the Agency for Health Research and Quality, include establishing accountability and agreeing on responsibility, communicating and sharing knowledge, monitoring and follow-up, and linking to community resources. One example of successful collaboration for care coordinators is with the Nurse Care Manager model, otherwise referred to as the Massachusetts model. The CARE model was built to help resolve the issue of gaps in collaborating and caring for patients with opioid use disorders. According to the Pew Charitable Trust, it was first implemented in Boston Care Center and later in several community settings. The nurse coordinators take the lead in patient care and serve as the primary liaisons between patients and prescribing physicians. The 4 stages of the model include screening and assessment, medication initiation, stabilization, and maintenance. Throughout the process, Pew Charitable Trust states that the nurse coordinator regularly communicates with the prescribing physician and other clinical team members involved in the patient's care. The findings of this care coordinator collaboration model have been very promising, as the Pew Trust reveals that a review of the NCM model over 5 years at Boston Medical Center found that of the individuals who remained in treatment for 12 months, 95% were no longer using illicit opioids or cocaine based on urine drug tests. Another consideration when looking at care coordination is how change management plays a factor into guiding quality, patient-centered care. While there are many different theories of change management that have been studied throughout the years and linked to nursing, for this presentation, the focus is placed on the medicine wheel. The medicine wheel, according to Wagner, is drawn as a circle with 4 quadrants, represents a holistic set of beliefs encompassing the mind, body, emotions, and spirit, which is foundational to the human being. A holistic approach is important to consider when coordinating patient care. Wagner goes on to further explain that the medicine wheel guides healthy change and can be individualized to the specific needs of the client or community, taking into account the context of culture, socioeconomic status, family situation, disease process, and other significant factors, culminating in balance, healing, and growth in all 4 aspects. The personalization and flexibility of the medicine wheel makes it an excellent change management theory to consider in the field of care coordination. Continuing on in the field of care coordination comes the consideration for care plans based on ethical decision-making. Tennyson et al., in their study, sought to gain insights into the ethical dilemmas and conflicting moral expectations care managers encounter in their daily work as they discuss these dilemmas in ethics reflection groups and to discuss the clinical implications. One theme that appeared was the difficulties in creating and maintaining boundaries when working in a field where patients may disclose a large amount of personal information and may also feel a sense of bonding with the care coordinator, as their role is one that can feel very helpful in advocating. According to Tennyson et al., the participants often discussed ethical challenges concerning the boundaries of involvement and the difficulty of setting limits for themselves in their roles as care managers, and concluded that the findings indicate 2 pitfalls in this respect: being too distant and being too private. The need for closeness and distance will vary as patients and their needs differ, but the question of how close or how distant one can or should be as a professional while meeting the patient's individual needs in a sound and diligent manner is the balance that care managers need to find. The process of care coordinators engaging with and encouraging patients needs to be balanced with professional boundaries when aiming to make ethical care plans in order for the care to be effective. Both the care coordinator and the patient could have negative outcomes if these ethical principles aren't adhered to when providing care. Lastly, in this presentation, we will explore how the certain legislations and policies impact care coordination. Ah et al. Discusses that Section 3021 of the Patient Protection and Affordable Care Act of 2010 authorized the Center for Medicare and Medicaid Innovation of the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services to test innovative healthcare payment and service delivery models that may lower costs while maintaining or improving beneficiaries' health. And that although the models differ in certain characteristics, care coordinators are central to all of them and serve as a primary driver to improved patient outcomes. This article really helps to describe how the Affordable Care Act gave care coordination a boost into the spotlight of patient care. Scholes and Monado review other policies as part of the ACA, such as the Patient-Centered Medical Home Initiative, where a team provides care coordination that incorporates both medical and non-medical care for complex patients. As a larger percentage of the population ages into the category of 65 and over, and many of which have multiple comorbidities, these policies put into place by Medicare place a lot of the demand for success on the shoulders of care coordinators. Scholes and Mionando further emphasize this point by stating that registered nurses must learn and appreciate how these policy-generated programs will inform future models of care delivery. Registered nurses are and will be key providers of care coordination in these programs and future models of care that address the high costs associated with providing care to Medicare beneficiaries. In conclusion, care coordinators are needed now more than ever in the rapidly evolving world of healthcare. Their role as a liaison and organizer between patients, physicians, and other disciplines is a critical component to high-quality patient outcomes. Care coordinators are constant collaborators and can look to other successful examples of nurse-led initiatives, such as the Massachusetts model, for guidance on their own efforts. Considering change management strategies, such as the medicine wheel, for how to personalize and adapt care planning to the individual patient are important to be considered. Basing care planning on ethical decision-making is critical to effective coordination, and one that needs to be monitored is with professional boundaries. Lastly, the Affordable Care Act provided extensive funding to care coordination with the expectation of improving patient adherence and management of the chronic conditions affecting the aging populations. Knowledge and understanding of these policies is critical to the success of any care coordinator aiming to thrive in this important role. Thank you again for your time and attention on this presentation of care coordination.